morning, welcome to Tiny Acres Homestead. So today I'm gonna start some sauerkraut. I've got probably a little over 10 pounds of cabbage. It looks like a lot more, but they're really small. I've got a 5-gallon bucket that I am going to shred these cabbages into. But first I need to cut the cores out. So to do that, we're just gonna hold them upside down by the stem. And it would be nice if this knife was as sharp as it looks, but it's not. And we're just gonna cut the sides off. Alright, now this is the core. They're not going to go to waste. The chickens absolutely love cabbage. So I am going to take these pieces and make them smaller so they will fit in the shredder slicer on my KitchenAid. I usually do all this by hand, but I'm doing quite a bit more right now than I usually do. So I would normally do probably 2 large heads, sometimes 3 at a time, and use a big plastic bowl. But sauerkraut takes about 2 weeks or more to ferment, so I figured if I can do more at a time, then that would be a time saver for me, since I don't always have time to do sauerkraut. And I did end up, my last jar of sauerkraut won a blue ribbon at the fair, but I accidentally left it there. I had my sister go collect it and gave her the sauerkraut as payment for picking it up for me. She lives a lot closer to the fairgrounds than I do. By closer, I mean like right next door. So I'm going to get the rest of these cut up, and then I'll show you how I put it through the slicer. So these are considerably thinner pieces than I usually cut. I usually cut by knife. And this thing does a pretty good job of making these really thin. And I don't think my bucket's going to be all the way full, but that's okay. Now that I've made a huge giant mess, time to get the salt added to this. We've got about 10 pounds of cabbage, so we're going to do 1 tablespoon per pound. So we're going to put 10 tablespoons of salt in here and then massage it all up. Get the lid on it. So I can reach down to the bottom. We want to try to draw all the water out. See how the liquid's coming out. Tug it to the camera. Smash it down. And then keep everything under the liquid while it ferments. And all of this liquid came out of the cabbage. Didn't add any water. All I added was salt. So this cabbage has been fermenting for about a month. This was probably, let's see, probably about 10 or 12 pounds of cabbage. I did taste it. It's not as tangy as I would prefer, but I think I might have put too much salt. It's always hard to tell how much salt to put in things. So I'm going to put it in these jars. I got out 10 pint jars. I might need more. We'll see. And I'm going to add a little bit of vinegar to them because I like tangy sauerkraut and I'm tired of waiting on this. And like I said, I think I put too much salt in it, so that can kind of make the sourness not be as sour, you know. So let's start getting this in jars and get it into the water bath canner. And I know that heat can kill the good bacteria, but I'm not making sauerkraut because of the bacteria. I'm making sauerkraut because I like the flavor. So the flavor still tastes flavorful, and bacteria or no bacteria, it's good with hot dogs. So apparently I was way off whenever I was thinking about how many I would have. I thought I'd need 10 pint jars. This is 17. Lots. So now I'm going to add just a little bit of vinegar to each jar to bring it up to about ½ inch head space. And I did push these down.
That's gonna stink.
Well, I can't help it if you think vinegar stinks. I did push these down to get all the air bubbles out. I just pressed them down with a spoon. And they did have quite a bit of juice in them, so you don't need very much vinegar in them, just enough to make it have some flavor here. Everybody's got a lid and a ring. Everybody's finger tight. Ready to get these in the water bath canner. Now, even though this is cold, I did go ahead and turn on the canner because it's not hot enough to bust the jars, but it's going to take forever to into a bowl, so because it's that big huge one. So let's get these in there. I don't know how many will fit. We'll see. Well, I fit 16 pints in here. I had 17. But I fed 16.
Amen.
So that kind of stinks, but what are you going to do? I think I am...
Oh, me.
Just going to put the other one in the fridge.
Oh, me.
Or I might just let it be. Let it continue to ferment in its own jar. Alright, let's get these boiling. We're gonna boil these for, I think, 20 minutes. Let me check. Alright, I was close. 15 minutes. It's 20 for quarts, and these are pints. So, let's get the lid on here. The heat cranked up on this thing, and bring it to a boil. Alright, got all 16 pints out of the canner. They're already starting to pop and seal. They look good. I did end up putting that other pint in the canner because one of them did bust. I think it had a crack in it because I dropped the box of jars the other day. But everybody looks good. And everything's all canned up and ready to go. So, thanks for watching.